My name is Eric Miller, better known in most circles as Big E. Still trying to figure out why they call me that, but Washington, D.C. native, born and raised in Northeast section, Trinidad to be exact. Take you back to 1989. I stood in a superior courtroom in front of a judge by the name of Wolf. At the time, I was dealing with an extensive record. I was charged with multiple first-degree murders, a couple of attempt murders, and an armed robbery. And the judge looked at me and he said, "Young man, were you to be standing in front of me today with the charges lodged against you," he said, "to me, you're nothing more than a lost cause to society." And I said, "A lost cause to society?" To be honest, it fucked me up. It fucked me up because I had a white man sitting up there telling me, looking down at me and telling me that I wasn't going to be worth shit. My whole existence wasn't nothing. And bear in mind, I hadn't been indicted, I hadn't been in trial, and I have yet to be convicted of any crime. But already I was a lost cause to society. And for decades, those words haunted me. They haunted me. Most people in my predicament, they came from broken homes, not me. I had the best of everything. I had a mother and a father. My mother was in the medical field, my father was in the military. I went to private school. I played sports. I excelled in everything that I did. I had everything that I wanted. I was smart. Who remembers the Rubik's Cube, missing link, those things? I mastered those things. And I took pride at all the accolades that I would get for doing those things. In the early 80s, I found myself in Germany because my father was deployed there for 3 years. My world changed drastically at that moment. Everything that I had loved, everything that I desired, my family, my friends, everything the world that I had known up to that point, it seemed like was all taken away from me and I was in a foreign land. And I began to rebel. I began to rebel because I didn't understand and I was hurt. I started using drugs. I started using alcohol. I had my first brush with the law. I was 12 years old. Fast forward when I returned to the United States in my old neighborhood of Trinidad, things were totally different. The guys that I played football with no longer played games. They drove fancy cars. They had a lot of money. They sold drugs. I fit right into the scheme of things. I was so out of control, and at the time, my parents they split up. My father was from the West Coast, and he was from Long Beach, California. My mother, she came back to D.C. They remained married, but they had two different outlooks on life. So she had my father come get me to try to take me away from that neighborhood, to try to give me some type of discipline and some type of hope of saving me. So I headed to California, another foreign land I didn't know nothing about. I go out there, they gang banging. Oh shit, well I fit in right here too. In fact, my family was one of the founding members of one of the Crip sets from Long Beach. So I was an honorary member. The whole time I had a love for music. Hip hop was taking off real big, and I loved rap music. One day in school, they had a rap battle going on, and I watched a young guy named Calvin Brodus begin to rap. He and I became best friends. You all know him as Snoop Dogg. I had dreams of becoming a rapper, making it big. I had no patience. I had no direction. And that's the biggest thing, patience. Every time you want to do something in life, you try to sit up and you have the vision, but you never have the patience to see that vision through. If it doesn't happen today, we can't wait until tomorrow. So back to the streets I went. Now I found myself getting in trouble in California. So my mother was like, well, you need to bring your ass back home. That ain't working out good. Come on back home. So I found myself back in Northeast. This time, the stakes were greater. This was the crack era, the war on drugs. We were just becoming to be the murder capital. And my neighborhood was in the biggest, legendariest beef of that time against Rayful Edmond. After the smoke cleared, I stood in front of Joseph Wolf for those charges lodged against me. Out of all of them, I was kind of found guilty of one murder. and I was sent away to prison for 20 years to life. The first 10 I did in Lorton. When they closed the doors to Lorton, I wound up various places in the federal prison system. Throughout those years, I had bumps and bruises, because anybody knows that had a loved one in jail, it's not easy. So a lot of things that I did in the streets, it's no guns in jail. So you're gonna be tested. You gotta check your gun at R&D when you walk through. So what they wanna know is that reputation still as strong as it was in the streets inside these walls. And every chance I got, I was determined to let them know it was just as strong. After a while, I got tired of being locked up in jail. I don't think y'all understand me. I was in jail, but I kept getting locked up in jail. See, they have a place called the hole, segregation. And it's not enough for you to be locked up. We're gonna lock your ass up some more. And for years, I stayed in that situation 23-1 until I began to pick up books. And I was able to get out the hole from reading. I was able to escape and let my mind take me on journeys. And I found out that I had a knack for writing. I started to better myself. I started to study. I went to school. I took correspondence courses. And I wanted to be different. I wanted to change. The whole time, that guy, Calvin Broders, I was telling you about, was blowing up. And I looked at my life and the choices that I made, and I said, damn, where did I fuck up at? It wasn't that I was hating. I'm a big fan. But I was supposed to be there. Fast forward, I got released after doing 21 years. And I came home in 2010. I had to find something to do. As a convicted felon, that's not easy. Too old to be a rapper. All my life has been around violence and all type of little negative stuff. So I chose to turn that negative into a positive. And I started utilizing my skills, and I call it a skill. Well, what I did was I started providing security for individuals. First person I met was a guy named Wale. I've been Wale's head of security now for 13 years. I work with Snoop Dogg to this day, national and international now, because I was able to obtain a passport. Rick Ross, Bow Wow, the list goes on and on. I've made my name in this industry as one of the top sought after bodyguards throughout, not just the DMV, but the whole United States. Started my company, Gladiator Protective Service. And I thought I was onto something big. I stayed on parole for 10 years, and I walked a straight line for 10 years. That's not easy to do, especially in the field of work that I do. 2021, found myself down in St. Mary's County with my loved ones. A fight ensued amongst my loved ones and another family. Weapons were involved. This is a group of females, mind you. 6, 7 females on both sides. Weapons. It was getting real ugly. I produced a firearm. I shot it in the air to try to make everybody just disperse. I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. Some told me to look to my right. A car was coming dead at me. One of the females in the other car hit me, knocked me to the ground. Her sister in another vehicle ran over me and backed up over me. I was left on the ground to die. They flew me by chopper to Washington Hospital Center where I laid for a total of 4 months. I had to learn to walk again. I had to do a lot of things that I wasn't used to or that I knew and I had lost the ability to do. Ironically, when all the smoke cleared and I was able to get back on my feet to some degree, because I'm still in physical therapy for the last 2 years, I've been going through therapy. But I had an arrest warrant out on me for 21 charges. The women said that they ran over me because they feared for their life because I had a gun. And guess what? When they ran my record, convicted murderer. So the things that I did back 30-some years ago, I'm still paying for today. I'm a totally different person. Yet and still I press forward. So for these women out here that have these children that's out of control right now, or if there's any kids in here, I want you to know, like, the things that you do yesterday is going to affect you today. And I'm learning this the hard way. I'm learning this the hard way. So the bottom line to all this is that you can change if you desire to, if you want to. And I wanted to change, and I did change. Can't no man sit up here and define me who did not know me. They can't do that. So in closing, I just want everybody to know that I'm not a lost cause. I used to look out the jails of prison windows. Now I look out the windows of private jets. Come a long way. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a protector. I'm a friend. I'm a father. So I say to Judge Wolf and everybody else who doubts people, this is my daughter, 3 months old, Malia Crystal Miller. And if nothing else in life, this is my cause. Thank you.